Hey everyone, I'm Jake, just your typical 18-year-old trying to figure life out. I've always worked hard, straight A's, juggling a part-time job, the whole deal. My grandparents, total MVPs. They've been my biggest supporters, always believing in me when I doubted myself. Jake, my boy, Grandpa would say, you've got a fire in you. Don't let anyone snuff it out. But then there's my family, my parents and my younger brother, Matt. Oh man, where do I even begin? Matt's 16, and in my parents' eyes, he's basically Einstein 2.0. Matt got another perfect score on his math test. Did you see Matt's science project? He's gonna cure cancer one day. Meanwhile, I'm like, hey, I got into the honor society. And crickets. Complete silence. But everything changed over one dinner. My grandparents slid an envelope across the table. What's this? I asked. Open it, sweetie, my grandma said, practically bouncing in her seat. I opened it and my heart nearly stopped. A full scholarship to Oxford, no way. I looked at Grandpa and he was grinning. You earned it, Jake. We've been saving for years and we know this is your dream. I was on cloud 9. Oxford. I couldn't stop dreaming about the future, international relations, maybe even becoming a diplomat. But when I glanced at my parents, something felt off. They were too quiet. Dad kept clearing his throat, and Mom wouldn't even meet my eyes. That's great, son, Dad said, but it sounded like the words were stuck in his throat. Later that night, while grabbing a snack, I overheard them talking. We can't let him go, Mom said. What about Matt? Dad replied. I know, but it's Oxford for crying out loud. How can we say no? But Matt's the gifted one. He deserves a chance like this. Jake, he's always been so average. Average? My own parents thought I was average. Maybe we could ask the grandparents to transfer the scholarship to Matt, Dad suggested. He'd have a better shot at getting in anyway. I was floored. Everything I'd worked for, they were ready to hand it over to Matt without a second thought. My dream, my hard work, meant nothing to them. I went back to my room, my mind spinning. Should I fight for what was mine, or let them hand my future over to Matt? One thing was certain. I wasn't backing down without a fight. 2 weeks before I was supposed to leave for Oxford, my parents called a family meeting. I should have known something was up. They looked shifty, avoiding eye contact. Jake, honey, Mom started, her voice sickly sweet. We need to talk about the scholarship. Dad jumped in. Matt's grades are exceptional, and we think he'd benefit more from Oxford. I felt like I'd been sucker punched. What? You can't be serious. Now, Jake, Mom said, be reasonable. Matt's gifted. This opportunity could really launch his career. He's 16. I shot back. I'm the one who's worked for this. Dad tried to look sympathetic. We know, but Matt's potential. Potential? I exploded. What about my potential? This is my scholarship. That's when Matt sauntered in, grinning like he'd already won. Thanks, Mom and Dad. I'll make you proud at Oxford. I lost it. Are you kidding me, Matt? This is mine. Sorry, bro, he shrugged, still smirking. Guess they finally figured out who's got the brains. I stormed out, slamming the door so hard the house shook. I needed my grandparents to step in, but when I called, all I got was their voicemail. Hey, it's Grandpa. We're on a dream cruise for a month. No reception out here in the middle of the ocean. Catch up when we're back. Great, just great. I felt my whole world crumble. Everything I dreamed of gone, just like that. I fell into a funk, barely eating or sleeping. My best friend, Sophia, noticed something was wrong and came over. All right, spill it, she demanded. So I told her everything, the scholarship, my parents' betrayal, Matt's smugness. By the time I finished, I was a mess. Sophia stood up, hands on her hips. Oh hell no, we are not letting them get away with this. I sighed. What can I do? They've made up their minds. Sophia's eyes narrowed. Fight back. This is your future. You can't just let them take it. But how? I asked, feeling completely hopeless. Sophia grinned, a mischievous glint in her eye. We expose them. Gather evidence. Show everyone what they're really like. I sat up straighter, her energy infectious. You really think we can do that? I know we can, she said confidently. Your parents and Matt have been pulling this crap for years. There's got to be a paper trail. For the first time in days, I felt a flicker of hope. You're right. There's no way Matt's as perfect as they say. Sophia nodded. Exactly. We'll dig into his academic history, talk to your teachers, and when your grandparents get back, we'll have a rock-solid case. I stood up, feeling determination surge through me. Let's do it. I'm not giving up my future without a fight. Sophia grinned. That's the Jake I know. We'll show them what happens when they mess with the wrong guy. We dove right in, turning into detectives, piecing together years of lies and deceit. I started by pulling out old report cards, awards, and school records. It didn't take long before something caught my attention. Look at this, I said to Sophia, pointing at Matt's transcript. Straight A's in advanced classes, but his standardized test scores are average at best. Sophia frowned. That's weird. Let's dig deeper. I reached out to Oxford, explaining the situation. They were stunned and quickly sent over documents confirming my acceptance in scholarship. Step 1. Complete. As we kept investigating, a disturbing pattern emerged. Matt's genius status was built on a shaky foundation. We found suspicious similarities between his essays and online sources, discrepancies in his grades, and even altered report cards. Jake, look at this. Sophia gasped, showing me a comparison between Matt's science fair project and an obscure research paper. It's practically identical. A cold realization hit me. He's been cheating for years. We needed more concrete proof. That's when I remembered Mr. Thompson, my old teacher who never bought into Matt's act. I reached out to him, and he agreed to meet us. I've been waiting for someone to finally catch on, Mr. Thompson said, handing over a thick folder. I've documented every instance of Matt's cheating and your parents' cover-ups. Just then, my phone rang. It was my grandparents. They were back. I filled them in, and they were horrified. We're coming over right now, Grandpa said, his voice shaking with anger. When they arrived, we all gathered in the living room. It felt like a courtroom, the tension thick in the air. What's this about? Dad demanded, but he already knew. I laid out everything, the fake grades, the plagiarism, the lies. Matt's face went pale. Is this true? Grandma asked, her voice trembling. Matt broke. I didn't mean for it to go this far, he sobbed. I just wanted to make you proud. Jake was always so smart and hardworking. I felt inadequate. Mom tried to defend him. We were just trying to help Matt. We thought. You thought wrong, Grandpa thundered. You betrayed Jake, and you enabled Matt's dishonesty. This stops now. Matt turned to me, tears streaming down his face. I'm so sorry, Jake. I never wanted to hurt you. I couldn't handle the pressure. I stood there, feeling a mix of anger and pity. Matt, cheating and lying isn't the answer. You're smart in your own way. You didn't need to do this. My parents looked stunned, guilt written all over their faces. Dad tried to apologize. Son, we never meant for this to happen. We thought we were doing what was best. For who? I cut him off. Certainly not for me, and not even for Matt. You failed both of us. Mom reached out, her voice breaking. Jake, please, we're so sorry. Can't we just talk about this? I shook my head. Sorry doesn't cut it. You were willing to destroy my future for a lie. I can't forgive that. Not now. Maybe not ever. The room fell into a heavy silence. Sophia squeezed my hand, her quiet support the only thing keeping me grounded. Grandpa stood up, his voice firm. Jake will be going to Oxford as planned. As for the rest of you, I suggest you take a long, hard look at the damage you've caused. As we left the house, I felt an immense weight lift off my shoulders. The truth was out, and my future was back on track. But the cost, the shattered trust and broken family, was something I have to deal with in time. Sophia hugged me tightly. You did it. Jake, you fought for yourself. I nodded, feeling a strange mix of triumph and sadness. Yeah, I did. Now it's time to move forward. The aftermath of the confrontation was intense. My grandparents wasted no time taking legal action to reinstate my scholarship. They were like bulldogs, refusing to back down until Oxford agreed to honor their original offer. Meanwhile, Oxford launched a full-scale investigation into Matt's fraudulent application. It was a mess, but I couldn't bring myself to feel bad for him. He'd made his bed. Word spread fast in our small town. Suddenly, my parents weren't the golden couple anymore. Dad's law firm put him on leave, pending an ethics review, and Mom resigned from the PTA in disgrace. Matt had it even worse. Once the truth came out, he was expelled and told he'd have to repeat his junior year. I heard he barely left his room for weeks. As for me, I was busy preparing for my delayed start at Oxford. My grandparents insisted I move in with them, which was honestly a relief. Living with my parents and Matt had become suffocating. Focus on your studies, Grandpa said. We'll handle everything else. Sophia was my rock through it all. She helped me pack, quizzed me on British slang, and promised to visit during breaks. You're going to crush it at Oxford, she said, her eyes shining with pride. The day I left for Oxford was bittersweet. My parents tried to come to the airport, but I asked them not to. Matt sent a text, "Good luck. I'm sorry for everything." I didn't reply. Fast forward a year, and life looked completely different. Oxford was everything I dreamed of and more. I was acing my classes, had a tight group of friends, and even joined the debate team. One sunny afternoon, I was video chatting with Sophia when she dropped a bombshell. "Your mom called me," she said hesitantly. "Your parents are getting divorced." I felt nothing. "Can't say I'm surprised," I replied. "Anything else?" Sophia nodded. "Matt's struggling. He can't get into any decent colleges with his record. He's talking about community college." Part of me felt a twinge of sympathy, but I quickly squashed it. "He made his choices," I said firmly. Sophia smiled softly. "You've really grown, Jake. I'm proud of you." I grinned back. "Speaking of growth, when are you coming to visit? I want to show my girlfriend all the sights." Her eyes widened. "Girlfriend?" "Well, yeah," I said, suddenly nervous. "If you want to be, that is." Her smile lit up the screen. "Of course I do, you dork." We spent the next hour planning her visit and talking about the future. As we chatted, I couldn't help but reflect on everything that had happened. "You know," I said, "a year ago, I thought my life was over." "But now?" Sophia asked, smiling. "Now I'm thriving," I finished, nodding. "I've learned a lot. About standing up for myself, about toxic family dynamics, and about who I really am when everything's stripped away." "And who are you, Jake?" Sophia asked softly. I thought for a moment. "I'm someone who won't let others define my worth. Someone who fights for what's right, even when it's hard. And someone who values real relationships over fake perfection." Sophia's eyes misted. "That's the Jake I fell in love with." As we said our goodbyes, promising to video chat again soon, a deep sense of peace washed over me. The road had been rough, but I had come out stronger on the other side. My future was bright, and for the first time in a long time, I was excited to see where it would lead. The story ends here, but now I've got a question for you. If you were in my shoes, would you ever forgive your parents and brother for what they did? Or is some betrayal too deep to come back from? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm really curious to hear what you do in this situation. And if you enjoyed this wild ride, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.